Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Forever DM. My name is Ben, and I'm coming at you today with another subclass of my creation. This one is for the fighter, and it's called the Master Duelist. So my goal with this was to make someone who is very reactive and someone who just really excelled in combat. So maneuvering and just being all around better than so basically like the champion, but better. Not to say that the champion isn't good. Just this does it in a different way. So we'll jump right into it. The first thing you get when you choose this archetype at 3rd level, whenever a creature hits you with a melee attack, you can use your reaction to add your charisma modifier to your armor class for that attack, potentially causing the attack to miss you. Basically, it's the defensive duelist feat, but instead of your proficiency bonus, it's your charisma modifier. Um, just because it just fits the theme better of someone who's this really charismatic, witty, aha kind of fighter, like a duelist. Also, at 3rd level, when you pick this archetype, you gain proficiency in the performance skill and an artisan tool of your choice. So basically, just amplifying that paragon of someone who's just so graceful and great with a sword that it becomes like a dance or a performance. At 7th level is when you really get the core mechanic of this build, which is an improved fighting style. So based on whatever fighting style you chose at 1st level, you gain an improved form of it here at 7th level. So if you chose the archery fighting style, the amplification to that is if you move at least half your movement before making your first attack on your turn, all of your ranged weapon attacks this turn deal +1 damage. Right, so it kind of forces you to be maneuvering to get yourself in a better position, and because of such, you can deal more damage. So if you chose the defensive fighting style, whenever you take the dodge action, you also, in addition to making attacks have disadvantage against you, also add +1 to all your saving throws until the start of your next turn. Basically, saying like you're bracing for impact, whether it be an attack or a spell or a whatever. You are automatically better to withstand whatever's coming. Dueling, which if you chose dueling at 1st level, your improved form of dueling is you get a +1 to attacks with one-handed weapons against any creature that attacked you since your last turn. So if you're in the thick of things and someone's attacking you, you attack them, you're better at it. Great weapon fighting to really amplify down that bigger weapon means bigger damage. Well, this does that. Whenever you make a melee weapon attack with a two-handed weapon, if you beat the target's armor class by 5 or more, you deal +2 damage. Right, so when you want it and you can have it, you get it. You hit harder with a greater weapon. It's the whole point, right? The protection fighting style, you can if you chose protection at 1st level, this is the new improved form of bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage that would be dealt to you is reduced by an amount equal to your shield's armor class bonus. If you're constantly in the thick of things and you're protecting other people, well, why can't you protect yourself as well? It's called the protection fighting style. You want to stay protected. And finally, two-weapon fighting. When you use your bonus action to attack with your offhand weapon, if any one of your previous attacks this turn missed, that offhand attack gains advantage. Right, so if you smack, 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 and especially since you're a fighter, you're going to have multiple attacks in a turn. And if any one of those missed, well, you can guarantee you get a really good offhand attack. At 10th level, we have a choice. You can choose either the ability Self-Confidence, or you can choose the ability Inflated Ego. So if you choose Self-Confidence, whenever you're required to make a saving throw against being frightened, you can use your reaction to make the saving throw with advantage. And also, if it then succeeds after doing such, you gain temporary hit points equal to 1d10 plus your charisma modifier. So basically, it really dumps down to you're a fighter, you're in the thick of things, you're in dire situations. Should you be frightened, you have the ability to stand your ground and become bolstered when doing so. Or you can look at it as a fighter. This type of fighter, we have a lot of charisma-based things. Maybe there's an ego associated with it. So whenever you make a saving throw against the charmed condition, you can use your reaction to make the saving throw with advantage. And then if it succeeds, you get to move up half your movement uh, towards the source of whatever's causing you to make the saving throw. And then if you are within 5 feet of that creature, you can also perform a melee attack as part of the same reaction. So, yeah, like I said, it's your choice. You don't get both of these; you choose one. Whether if you want to be against frightened or if you want to be against charmed and have whatever associated action to do with after making such a saving throw. Uh, Second to last, at 15th level, we get Agile Footwork. So starting at 15th level, as long as you don't use your entire full movement amount, all opportunity attacks against you have disadvantage. So if you move a little bit, it doesn't matter. It's hard to hit you because you're taking those concentrated steps to maneuver around the battlefield to gain a more advantageous position. In addition, if a hostile creature misses you with a melee attack, which is probably going to happen if you strike up an opportunity attack because of moving, you can use your reaction to give yourself +2 to your armor class until the start of your next turn. So basically, yes, it feels like there's a lot of reaction abilities, and that's on purpose. I want you to have the choice. Depending on the situation, you have a reaction under your belt to be able to overcome the situation. Um, and then finally, at 18th level is the ability Famous Dueler. At 18th level, you become so famous for your skills. Not only do you gain proficiency in charisma saving throws, but you also get to add your charisma modifier to all of your initiative rolls. But with fame comes a price. You have disadvantage on any deception checks to try and pass yourself off as another person. So you can still make deception checks, but just not to say, no, I'm not that famous duelist, I'm somebody else. That you would have disadvantage with. So that specific thing, which just also helps storytelling. It really makes it like, yeah, you've become a famous duelist. And then finally, the last part of the famous dueler is whenever you participate in a duel with at least 6 spectators, you get your proficiency bonus is increased by +1 for the duration of that duel. And I put in a little clause here to tell you what a duel and what a spectator is. So a duel is a combat encounter between you and exactly one other combatant. And a spectator is any non-combatant player character or non-player character. So it really means specifically a duel. Um, but yeah, that's it. Fighters are uh, pretty easy unless it's a bottom master fighter. They just get a lot of passive or reactive or bonus action abilities, and such as for this one's case. This is the Master Duelist. You can find it at the link below. There's a link to it to D&D Beyond. I am not sponsored by them, but like I said in multiple videos, they're just really easy to make your own homebrew stuff. There's a homebrew section on the D&D Beyond website, which is just fantastic. You can upload or create anything from spells to races to monsters, feats, subclasses, you name it, everything's on there. So I'll post a link in the description below to where you can see the Master Duelist so you can follow along while I kind of talk about it, or just read it at your own leisure. So If you have anything to ask me, feel free to comment in the comments down below. I check that all the time. If you have any suggestions on what other kind of content you'd like to see me do, please feel free to drop a comment down below. And if you obviously if you like the content, please give it a like. I appreciate any feedback. Especially the more I get, the more apt I'm going to make more of these videos. So it's just a great community that D&D has, and I'd like to be a better part of it. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a great day.